Yes, we have witnessed the fourth sign, with Sodom and Gomorrah, and its moral decay and degeneration dominating globally, spreading its corruption worldwide. Culture wars have targeted traditional relationships, and they have targeted faith in God. Culture wars have especially targeted and devalued Christianity, family, and lasting relationships. Wanton promiscuity is everywhere. Identity culture exceeds morality. And it is more important than family and friendship. Innocent people are threatened. They are harassed, jailed, and even killed for as little as just saying what they believe or think. Elites, billionaires, and politicians worldwide are calling the shots and oppressing the poor. There are many examples of humanity being adrift and awash in sin, of how humans have become morally bankrupt en masse. On Earth, crime has been rising and climbing at extraordinary rates. Criminality and its victims are commonplace now on mortal Earth. Illegality and lawlessness, it ranges from theft to violence to murder. And there are few, if any, consequences for these felonious perpetrators of evil. The elite and politicians, they turn blind eyes to the harm and suffering of those beneath their proverbial boots, and they just release the felons, the criminals, back onto the streets to harm more innocent people. On Earth, crime has permeated all walks of life, from the desperate, down and out, and vulnerable people, all the way spanning a vast range, from the poor to the wealthy, all the way to the excessive decadence of billionaires and politicians. Drug dealers and drug lords are thriving. Even children have been corrupted and drawn into crime. They vandalize property. The children, they help criminals in heists and illicit deals. Children distribute contraband and illegal drugs. Pimps traffic after they corrupt and enlist women to become prostitutes, where they gradually and progressively decline and fall deep into hell's maw, and where they ultimately surrender their hope of ever being normal again. The pursuit of libertine, pleasuring experiences is ubiquitous. It is everywhere. It is the libertine pursuits, this need for pleasure, that has propelled the market of stolen goods, of prostitution and coercion forward so dramatically. We have observed complex money laundering within nations and internationally. The money laundering is done by criminals and corporations, even the governments themselves. We have also observed money schemes to bribe people and companies to comply with elite and political directives, or bribes to do the bidding of the syndicate of evil, to do the bidding of the puppets of hell directly. Book deals, speaking engagements, GoFundMe campaigns, sold artwork, and more. They are all frequent methods of bribery that is controlling and driving much of the world. Relationships worldwide have lost value to most people. Libertine, personally satisfying, albeit intimate, relationships appear to be the norm for most people. Commitment and loyalty are considered fungible and forgivable when transgressed. which it is often transgressed and expected to happen. They call immoral behavior new names to distance themselves from their sin. They redefine morality to suit their desires in the moment, using what is called situational ethics or business ethics. Both names are there to obfuscate the truth that they are sinning. Diversity in gender and multi-partner intercourse is celebrated, whereas traditional relationships are suppressed, if they are even tolerated. Schools and government institutions have driven wedges between parent and child, their love, their bond, their relationships. Perhaps the apex of their modern Sodom and Gomorrah, perhaps the apex of their sin and wickedness, was seen in the 2024 Olympics in Paris, France, where the Last Supper with Jesus was mocked, with woke performers in drag-like costumes exposing themselves. It was a mockery of God, of Jesus, and of Christianity. These adrift souls would see Jesus as a corrupted, confused soul himself. These drifting souls, these ignorantly blissful people, they see the church as a tool. They see the church as merely a service, like a company. They do not see the faith, Jesus or God, or anything Christian in the church. And thus, these adrift souls, they expect God and Jesus to become woke themselves, and for them to follow the same adrift path that these fallen souls are on, though these souls are in threat themselves of eternal damnation. They dance and they prance in parades and in streets and in libraries and in schools. They dance and present as very happy people, despite their likely burning in hell for all eternity for their lack of faith. While the list of fallen behaviors of humankind may well seem endless, it is not humankind's fault entirely. The origin of humankind's catapult into sin is clear. The drivers of these nightmares of human decadence and oppression, it stems from the 7 princes of hell and their respective 7 puppets of hell on earth. Their evil efforts are making the 7 deadly sins immensely effective. They are making each and every sin maximally impacting humankind, from the elites at the top of decadence and wickedness, and then downward all the way to everyone else. We can stop the near-term fall of humankind if we can stop the evil elites operating as the heads of the serpent, serving as the puppets of hell. We have seen the sin and wickedness, the same as that of fallen smited cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. We have seen evil return in full sinful force across the world. We have seen moral decay and sin worldwide and corrupt humankind. Chaos, destruction, and sin reign supreme across mortal earth. Indeed, sadly, the 4th sign seems to be very much realized. The 4th sign seems to be fulfilled. Alas, there is even more corruption and oppression of the innocent and hardworking. There is hate against faith and religion. Elites and their lackeys target and oppress the faithful.